As we transition to the end of the conference, I do want to take the time to thank you for attending the first large conference that we've put together. The new partners that have been here in the past day and a half, you've seen 30 presentation and 60 speakers, which is an awesome number. And we're excited that you were able to do that. Pretty cool that you saved the best for second to last as well. Teresa and I appreciate that. But it is now time for the grand finale. Our final speaker is a musician, a trumpeter, a vocalist. He's a radio host, a music director, a graduate of the University of Southern California's Thorton School of Music. He presented his unique guide to leadership at the 2021 Bismarck TEDx. You saw him and his four-piece band last night at the social. And now for the final performance of the 2022 North Dakota Transportation Conference, please welcome Michael Cartwright, the Art of the Frontman.
Hello, everyone. Here we are. I'm the front man, which means that I'm the captain of this ship. I'm your point of focus. I am your guide. I'm here to find a little place in your heart and ignite your imagination with what I have to offer. You see, myself and many others are part of a bold category of service called the frontman. Frontman is a general term. Simply stated, a frontman is someone who represents something and works to make that something appeal to the people. The role of frontman is widespread in our world, and it comes in many flavors. For example, anyone who's been on this stage, frontman. Any entrepreneur, frontman for his business. A pastor of a church, frontman for her congregation. I'm going to go and guess that everyone here in this room today will at some point in your life play this role of frontman. And so to promote good ideas worth spreading, I'm here to teach you the art of the frontman. You may think that the successful frontman leaders, speakers, and entertainers of this world simply have charisma, and that's what makes them effective. Well, allow me to share an additional perspective. Charisma is a style. It's a personality style. As the French would say, it's a je ne sais quoi, and it's unique to each and every human being on this planet. Well, I found through experience that underneath charisma, there's a foundation that creates a successful frontman, and that's through the fulfillment of 3 responsibilities. These 3 responsibilities are the bones that give the structure to your frontman prowess. So, might you be interested in learning about these 3 responsibilities? Good. Well, before we talk about those responsibilities, I want to clear up some semantics. The term frontman is not gender specific. It's for all people. With that in mind, if front woman or front person suits your personal lens better, well, then please use that. So now, let's dive into the 3 responsibilities that make the art of the frontman. Number 1, responsibility to yourself. This means that you need to have an extensive breadth of knowledge in the field that you represent. You need to aim to master your craft. So in no way do you need to be the world's foremost expert, but you absolutely have to hold your own. Because see, I'm a musician, and in my music community, we have a saying, you need to shed. Shed is a shortened form of the word woodshedding, and it basically means that you need to get your butt in the practice room and do your homework. You need to set aside the time to learn for the pure reward of making yourself more skilled. Because when you master your craft, you gain self-reliance for problem solving and the creation of new ideas. Without self-reliance, you're basically an imposter. You're a puppet. You can talk the talk, but in no way can you walk the walk. Self-reliance builds your bridge to success when the eyes of the world are all watching you. So there's a real cool guy out there named Chris Voss. Chris Voss is a former FBI hostage negotiator and now the frontman for his consulting business called Black Swan. He's nailed this concept of shed that I'm talking about. He says, prepare, prepare, prepare. Because when the pressure is on, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to your highest level of preparation. Thank you, Mr. Voss. So people, if you want to be an effective frontman, hold responsibility to yourself. Keep shedding and master your craft. Number 2, responsibility to your team. Every frontman is going to have a team. For me, it's my band. It's my drummer, the guitar player, the keyboard player, the bassist. I'm honored to be their frontman because it means that my band, my team, trusts me to lead and represent them. Every frontman must have a clear understanding of the strengths and the weaknesses within their team. A wise frontman is always going to arrange their team in ways that illuminate the strengths. For example, let's take a look at one of the greatest frontmen musicians of all time, trumpeter Miles Davis. Miles would handpick members of his band for the strength and the potential that he saw in them. His performances and recordings were always under his name, but openly featured a host of other very talented musicians. He would never micromanage, but allow each musician complete autonomy to play what came naturally for them. This created an environment of mutual respect. Excellence was absolutely expected, but the method of achieving that excellence was left to the natural brilliance of each musician. You are a savvy frontman when you respectfully use and showcase the talents in your team. And you know what? Sometimes this takes humility, because at times you gotta step aside and let your team take the spotlight. You gotta let the band play. Miles would do just that. He would simply walk to the side of the stage to give the full attention to his sidemen. Miles, the super musician he was, knew his talent and could check his ego so his team would shine. Once, Miles even said in an interview, "Someday, I'm gonna call me up on the phone. So when I answer, I'll tell myself to shut up." So people, what kind of teams are you gonna have if you encourage this same ethos of participation? Let's be real, folks. Our workplace and social environments have changed greatly over the last couple of years, and they're gonna continue to evolve in unexpected ways. So autonomy of our team members is paramount. So people, if you want to be a good frontman, set your teams up to win. Expect excellence and allow them to showcase their talents. Because you know what? Every member of your team has a superpower. And I can guarantee you it's one that you don't have. Number 3, responsibility to your audience. Here lies the proof of your effectiveness as a frontman. Does your audience get it? There's no gray area here. It's either yes or no. Remember, the definition of frontman is someone who represents something and works to make that something appeal to the people. So if the people don't get it, guess whose fault that is? The effective frontman takes ownership of results. Now, ownership of results is a huge responsibility. And heck, your results might even hurt your feelings. But you know what? Ownership of results is legit because when things go wrong, there is no one to be your scapegoat. There is no one to blame. And you can't play the victim. Ownership of results even embraces failure because failure is now your pinpoint teacher of where to improve. For me, this is empowering because ownership of results reveals potential. It forces me to dig deep and lead the charge. I'm the front man. If I'm not getting the results that I want, I must be the one to change. Let me tell you about Jocko Willink. Jocko is the author of an insightful book called Extreme Ownership. And in this book, he reflects upon the leadership skills that he gained through his life as a Navy SEAL. I dig Jocko. He's big, articulate, and super intimidating, and all about extreme ownership. In Jocko's true gritty style, he says, as a leader, there's no one else to blame. I don't make excuses. If I can't take ownership for problems, I can't solve them. Again, he said, if I can't take ownership of problems, I can't solve them. Thank you, Jocko. See, so if ownership over your results works for Jocko Willink as a naval commander, and it works for me as a musician, I know it has to work for you. So people, if you want to be an effective frontman, hold responsibility to your audience by taking ownership of your results. Now, when a frontman has all three of these responsibilities fulfilled, there's a setup for what I call Frontman Magic. This is when a frontman's natural charisma combines with the structure of the three responsibilities, and this unpredictable, let's call it an X factor, is available. Maybe a transcendence, maybe a kind of magic. One of the greatest moments of Frontman Magic in my memory happened on February 4th, 2007. Super Bowl 41. The artist Prince performed a halftime show that I will never forget. You see, halftime shows are difficult to pull off in the first place. There's so many moving parts going on to execute these brief, high-energy concerts. Well, at Super Bowl 41, rain had been falling all day. So inclement weather, slippery stages, electricity, not a good mix. Now, this is true. In the final minute before the performance, the producers were actually considering canceling the live show and playing a pre-recorded rehearsal for all the viewers at home. They would rather be safe than sorry with a possible catastrophe on live TV. Now, if you haven't seen the show for yourself, you really need to look it up. But since I'm an entertainer, ladies and gentlemen, lend me your ears as I poetically recount for you the most exciting 12 minutes of primetime television ever. Once upon a time in 2007, a football game and a frontman now in heaven. A rain-soaked Super Bowl. Never happened before or since. The halftime show,
Sponsored by Pepsi.
featured the purple one, Prince. His guitars wailed. The audience rejoiced. Did I mention that Prince's suit was turquoise? He played songs of his own and paid tribute with some covers. Even a marching band marched out, a bold brassy band of sisters and brothers. Screams erupted. Is the audience in pain? Oh no, they're screams of delight because Prince is closing with Purple Rain. He tossed his do-rag to the crowd. Then he tossed his do-rag to the crowd and put his guitar in the air and asked, "Can I play this guitar?" And they said, "Oh, how would any of us dare deny such a wonder? Prince, do, Prince, do." That's when he threw his microphone to the floor and looked to the audience to sing. It was a show for the history books on a cymbal-shaped stage. The Colts won the Super Bowl, but this frontman took front page because a minute before downbeat, they thought the pre-recorded show would be smarter. But when Prince was asked to step down, he stepped up and said, "Can you make it rain harder?" This poem of mine is a true tale of the events that evening. Prince was able to roll with the unexpected challenges of that performance because he was self-reliant in his skills and had mastery over his craft. His team was brilliant. Each of them talented and specialized. They followed Prince and knew they were to do their absolute best because their frontman was leading the way. Prince had a combined worldwide audience of 144 million people that night, and I have no doubt that many of them were caught in this moment of magic, like I was at the end of Purple Rain. At that moment, it was like Prince had surrendered his sword and he turned to us to be the hero. It worked. Prince definitely made his music appeal to the people. The definition of frontman. So everyone, you all here have charisma. Each and every one of you, unique, special charisma. Hold responsibility to yourself and master your craft. Hold responsibility to your team and showcase their talents. Hold responsibility to your audience and take ownership of your results. I hope something I said today makes your life a better place. My name is Michael Cartwright. Thank you very much.